So many people have this very consistent question of, what is going to bring a big surge in users to Cardano? What is going to bring adoption to the blockchain? And while we talk a lot about, governments and businesses and things like that really being a big focus of what Cardano is trying to tackle, and it is, and I think those are big pushes for the future adoption of the Cardano blockchain, I want to talk about what I think is going to happen in terms of retail. NFTs, meme coins, things like that, like you and I know, because are we now getting some hints that there is going to be this big activity surge because of this thing taking place? I'm Luckside. Welcome to the channel. If you guys are new or haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below, hit that bell. Again, it's free to do. It'll keep you updated anytime there's new content live here on the channel. So this was actually inspired by a comment by a viewer, Shane Bridgman. Appreciate you making this comment. He said, think Binance is going to announce they will list Cardano native tokens, ? Considering Cardano Foundation told the big coins to reapply shortly after the announcement that Binance is sponsoring the Cardano Summit. And this is a big partnership, guys, or a big sponsorship. Having one of the largest blockchains in the world, if not the largest blockchain, sponsor your event, it brings a lot of optics to what you're doing. And we know about all the different advancements that have taken place in terms of Cardano. We know during the last market cycle, we didn't even have smart contracts. So this is very different this time around. And we're now getting into a time where the retail stuff, the fun stuff in this space for most people is frankly about to boom. Now, does this sponsorship mean that we're about to get a bunch of Cardano native assets listed on exchanges? No, it doesn't, right? This isn't a guarantee. Nobody knows what's going to happen. But what it does is it does open up that doorway for that adoption to take place. Now, what I want to point out is most of these coins, one of the major reasons that many of these coins are not on major exchanges is because of volume. All right. Volume, frankly, is quite low for most of these tokens. In fact, the largest token in terms of volume on the Cardano blockchain is snek at $531,000. That's not a lot, right? Most of these exchanges to get out of bed in the morning, they need millions of dollars worth of transactions per day. But this is where you actually have a unique opportunity because, again, we're getting into some of those more exciting times, some of those times where there is, in fact, more activity from coins in general. And that's where you may start seeing some of these coins get adopted, right? So why this is important and why I'm talking about these things venturing away from the Cardano blockchain and obviously, centralized exchanges and the transactions that take place there aren't necessarily beneficial directly for an ecosystem. Activity that happens on centralized exchanges is not on-chain transactions. It doesn't bring people here. But what it does set things up for is a more explosive late market move. And why I say that is you eventually get into this point where people start to flock out of centralized exchanges. During alt season, during the highest times of adoption, centralized exchanges are what people use. It's where a majority, probably 80, 90% of the activity within crypto in general takes place because most people don't know DeFi. But later on in market cycles, you see the transition from people from centralized exchanges to DeFi, from hot wallets to cold storage. Remember, not your keys, not your crypto. If you're holding stuff on exchanges, it's technically not yours, right? So you eventually get to this point where people start to move to DeFi and start to interact with more with DeFi products and services. They basically live there. That's why I've said many times that, people wanting Cardano DeFi to take off right now, it's not time yet. That is a late market move that usually happens during the year of alt season. It usually happens very late in market cycles, and people wanting this to take place now doesn't really make a lot of sense. But some of these top assets in here are frankly due for some large exchange listings. For example, snek, IAG, World Mobile Token. Obviously, we know it's multi-exchange. It's multi-chain now. MinSwap. I mean, it would not surprise me if you do start to see some of these tokens get major exchange listings. All the things are there except for the volume, which the volume will increase nonetheless. And what is interesting about this is that brings more liquidity to the ecosystem. The larger these tokens get, the more exchange listings they have, the more down the road it actually brings people to Cardano. Not only that, but you start to have things like stable coins launch in the space. You start to have more interoperability. You start to see partner chains take off. I mean, that's the thing is there's a lot of different pathways that this can take place. Big Cardano blockchain adoption from the retail side of things. And this may be the most direct path in doing so. So I just wanted to share that with you guys. It is exciting that Binance is a sponsor of the Cardano Summit. And again, I think that brings a lot more optics to an ecosystem that has been somewhat closed off. We've kind of been stuck on this island, but things are very different than they were last market cycle for a benefit. All right. I see a lot of people right now that are saying a lot of bottom signals, frankly, people capitulating, people saying, oh, we're not going anywhere. Oh, we're still stuck down in these ranges. Patience. Patience is the most important thing. We're making calls at times where we shouldn't be making calls. We're making calls before the really exciting times in the market cycle, before things historically take off anyways, but we're getting there. So appreciate you guys. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Do you think that exchange listings by Cardano native assets is going to be a big deal for the ecosystem? But have a great day. Show your love below. Catch you guys in the next one. Take care.